We talked about fundamental principle of counting. We need to multiply. First task can be done in how many ways, and second task can be done in how many ways, and so on. Or if we are to perform either of the tasks, if task 1 is to be done or task 2 is to be done, and so on, in that case the ways were added. Okay, before I move further, before we discuss further things, let me ask you a quick question. Let's say this is a staircase. This is a ground. So right now there is a person who is standing at ground. So this is first step, second step, third step, and fourth step. This person is to reach to the fourth step. Please answer the question now. This person is standing at ground right now, and he is to reach to the fourth step. So it is allowed that person, he is such a capable person that he can directly jump to the fourth step. He can take one steps and reach to the fourth step. There can be various ways, but this person is moving only in the forward direction. The person doesn't comes back. Okay, the person doesn't comes back. So question is that in how many ways can this person reach to the fourth step? In how many ways the person can reach to the fourth step? Answer please, fast. We are repeating whole thing. Today's complete class is almost same repetition class. Same concepts are there. Harsh, there could be one way, there can be many ways. As I said, the person can directly jump to the fourth step also. The person can take one steps at a time. That is also a way. And there can be other combinations as well. But it is given that person is moving only in the forward direction. The person need not to come back. How many ways are there? I'm getting different answers here. 4, 14, 8. Somebody says 15 also, one way. Jumping is allowed. Yes, the person can directly jump to the fourth step also. We have just started. Don't worry, we are just started and we are just revising the whole things which we did yesterday. See, there is going to be only one answer and you are getting different answers here. So please tell your thought process also. I can see right now Pragya says 24, Shavi says 7. Somebody says 4 and 6 also. How to count? How to count? Very good evening, Arju. How to count? Jia, you're saying 4, Nidhi says 7, Abhishek 6. Different answers you are saying. Preetam, कैसे आया 24? Harsh Dokania says 8. 4 factorial. Prerna, क्यों किया 4 factorial? Why it is 4 factorial? Okay, Kashish is writing all the ways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 4. Kumar Akash, total how many ways are you getting? 7. 7 is not correct. You have missed something. Ankit Sahu says 8. 10 कैसे आया प्रियांशी? Gungun says 8. Zeenab, आपका आंसर कैसे आया 14? How did you get that? Leela says 12. 4 factorial divided by 2. Arey, how did you get 4 factorial? What is the meaning of 4 factorial here? Nothing. 10 ways कैसे आया अनुराग? Okay, here is one query. Pranav says, is it necessary if he skips one step, then he will skip one step only in the next step? No. Only direction is fixed. Initially, he may land to first step, then third, then fourth. First one step, then directly fourth. First, then second, then fourth. And let's say skip first one even, second, then fourth. Third, then fourth. Directly fourth. There are various ways. So how many total number of ways are there? That is the question. Only constraint is that he is moving in forward direction only. He is not to move downstairs. Gungun was saying 8. Preetam, that is one of the way. Na? There can be other ways also. Kanishk, 15 कैसे आया? See, you are getting different answers here. You are writing different answers. Faiz says again 8. Many of you are saying 8 now. Ranu, how did you get 15? Yes, I can see almost same answers now on this my chat box here. 8 is the right answer. 8 is the right answer. See, if you're going to count, you can write all the cases. Let's say he doesn't skip anything. So starting with 1, let's say starting with 1, if his first step is 1, then 1, 2, 3, 4 is one case possible. After that, suppose 2 को skip कर दिया. मतलब let's skip any one. So 1 continue करते हैं तो 2, 2 ले लिया और 3 skip कर दिया, तो 1 2 4 can be one of the ways. 1 3 4 is also one of the way, or 1 4 is another way. So starting with 1, if you're stepping on the first step, then 2 3 4, 2 4, or 3 4, or directly 4. Right? So starting with 1, these are the 4 ways possible. Let's say he has skipped first step, he's starting with second step, so it could be the case 2 3 4, or directly 2 to 4. Right? So starting with 2, only these 2 cases would be there. And let's say he may have skipped even 2 also, and starting with 3, so 3 4, that is only one case remaining here. And finally maybe 3 is also skipped, directly he is jumping to 4th step. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. These are the 8 ways possible. What else? How are you getting 15 or 14 or 24 or 12? Different values you are saying. Any other case possible other than this? Is any case possible other than this? Ashuji, I have written all the steps. See, check. There's nothing more possible. That's why I took a small case, only 4 steps. Personally, when I asked this question for the first time, I remember around 15-20 years ago, then I framed this question for 10 steps. Because in that case, it is not possible to count like this, but till the 4th step, it is easier to count. Right? So 8 is the right answer. Now, let's think. If in place of 4, I ask this question for the 10th step, it would be quite difficult to write like this. Any better way to think? Yes, that's why I'm asking Tanishq, any better way? Akash says, जिनके more than 8 high हैं, वो लोग ऊपर नीचे पता नहीं. कुछ generation है. That's what I'm asking Subhajit. Can there be any better way to think here? That's what I'm saying, Gunjan. How to calculate for 10 steps? Excellent. Ankit has got the answer. 2 raised to power 9. Good. Now listen carefully. Listen very, very carefully. Yes, listen very carefully. Ankit Sahu is formulating a pattern here. Anyway, that's fine. We can formulate pattern also. That's perfectly fine. See, right now we were to reach at the 4th step. We are getting answer as 8. Right? If I had to reach at first step only, then what would have been the answer? अगर first step पे ही पहुंचना होता, तो what would have been the answer? Only one way. The ground से first पे पहुंच जाओ. Right? If I would have to reach at the second step, then what would have been the answer? If I had to reach at the second step, what would have been the answer? First 1, then 2, one way, or directly 2. That's another way. There are 2 ways. Yes or no? Just take one more case. If I had to reach at the 3rd step, can you count the number of ways? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, that's first way. 1 के बाद सीधा 3, right? 1, 2, 3, that's one way. 1 के बाद सीधा 3, that's another way. Or skip 1 now, 2, 3, and directly 3. These are 4 ways. Fine, it is not 3. ऐसा नहीं 1 का 1, 2 का 2, 2, 3 का 3. 3 के लिए there are 4 ways. Now, can you identify the pattern? Yes, pattern is this. This is 2 power 0. This is 2 power 1. And this is 2 power 2. Same way for the 4 steps, it is going to be 8, which is 2 raised to power 3. And similarly, if there had been 10 steps, then answer had to be 2 raised to power 9. That is seeing the pattern. Fine, that is seeing the pattern. Is it okay? So it's not that this is the question which you are going to get. We are just understanding. We are just trying to understand the pattern. So when question is large, it is difficult to count, then we can go with the smaller values. We can always go with the smaller values and we can find what pattern is being followed. Okay? Okay, any other way of solving? This was just identifying the pattern, and you can identify the pattern in the wrong way also, as certainly some of you might have concluded कि 1 पे 1, 2 पे 2 to 3 पे 3, but 3 पे 4 है, right? And based on this, we got this pattern. Any other way to calculate? And there are going to be too many questions. It is just to revise the concepts which we discussed yesterday. That's how I get this one. Sanskar, Gorky, हाँ ये बात ठीक है, NC0, NC1, their sum comes out to 2 power n, but how did it relate with here? Okay, now listen. I don't know any formula, I don't know any pattern, and counting like this, there may be some mistake. Now let's try to think. We are having different tasks. The person, right now we are seeing that which steps he has used, right? We are seeing from the point of view of steps. Let's see we are seeing that from the person. That person is using which steps. Now let's think from the point of view of the steps. I'm repeating. Now listen carefully. Let's think from the point of view of these steps. Now, how many ways this first step has? How many ways this first step has? Can you think of? How many ways are there with this first step? There are 2 ways. Whether it is being stepped on or not. I'm not saying कि first step पे पहुंचने का. That is okay. That we have done. Now we are solving it in another way. In this first step, in this process of reaching to the 4th step, this first step has 2 options. Whether it is going to be stepped on or not. ठीक है ना? या तो एक person इसके ऊपर पाँव रखेगा, yes वो skip कर देगा. Only 2 ways are there. Yes or no? Fine. Is it okay? Yes, to use or to not to use this step. Fine. There are 2 ways available with this first step. How many ways are available with the second step? How many ways are available with the second step? Fast. How many ways are available with the second step? again 2, right? And tell me one more thing before we move further. The two ways of the second step, are they dependent on the way used by the first step? Are these two ways dependent on the way used by the first step? No, it is independent. So I need to perform this task, either use it or not, and I also need to perform this task, use this or not. It's not that I need to perform one of the two tasks. Both tasks are to be done. Both tasks are to be done, right? So I need to choose one of the ways here, either step on or not, same way step on or not, and same way for the third step also, same two ways are there to whether to step on or not. Now finally, tell me how many ways are there with this fourth step? How many ways are there with this fourth step? 1. Why 1? Because now we are to certainly step on this fourth step. Is it fine? We are to certainly step on this fourth step. So now we are done. That the other different tasks to be performed. So yes, we are to multiply all these values now. So answer is simply 2 times 2 times 2 times 1. That is 8. Okay. Exactly. 4 पे तो जाना ही है. We have to reach at fourth step. Is it fine? So basically point is that how to think while solving a question. There can be various approaches, there can be various ways. We discussed it yesterday also. Don't go for the formula always. You can remember formula, but while using it, you don't know which to use, what to use. Okay? Tathagat, we have just counted from the point of view of the steps. Earlier, when we were thinking from the point of view of person. I was considering myself as a person, and at how I will move, I will step on the first, second, third, fourth, or I will step on first and then second and fourth and so on. So if I'm counting like this, if I'm thinking like this, I need to write all the steps, and it is going to take time also, and I may skip also something, right? Some of you got 7 as the answer, so certainly you were writing like this, and some of you had skipped 1 or 2 of the cases. Those who were getting 24 or something, they were unnecessarily misusing P&C. 4 देके 4 factorial कर दिया, कुछ नहीं half कर दिया. That was no sense. That was no meaning. So right now, what we are doing, we are thinking from the point of view of each of these steps. So whether the step is being used or not, how many ways are there for each step? Because first step has 2 ways, whether it is being used or not. Second step also has 2 ways, used or not. Same with third. But fourth step has got only 1 way, because it is certainly to be used, because our target is to reach to this fourth step. Right? And all these tasks need to be done. So they are to be multiplied. So that was one of our example for fundamental principle of counting, the principle of addition and multiplication. Addition कब करना था? When we are to perform one of the tasks, one of the given tasks. But multiplication, when each task needs to be done. Is it okay? ठीक है. Okay, let's move back and solve some more questions. We also discussed about NCR and NPR, right? Before solving this question, let me tell again. What is the meaning of NCR? Please tell me what is the meaning of NCR? Yes, note use को भी count करेंगे ना. That is one of the ways, Tathagat. P&C is not confusing. Confusion is in our own mind. So just clarify that. And that is the purpose of all these sessions. So don't worry. I'm with you. I'm here to clarify your confusions only. NCR का meaning selection or combination. सही बात है. See, actually this word comes from the word combination, which actually means here selection. So NCR का formula, remember formula? You're selecting R things out of N distinct things. Perfectly fine, Ritika. So NCR actually means selecting R things out of N distinct things, different things. So this distinct is very important. That's why I'm keeping it in bold. We discussed it yesterday also. So what is the formula for NCR? What is the formula for NCR? Yes, that's correct, Amulya. So it is N factorial upon R factorial into N minus R factorial. And I told you most of the times we are going to use this formula only in the entire P&C. And whatever other cases would be there, they will also be based on this one formula only. So if you understand the meaning of this formula and when you can use it and how you can use it, you are almost done with P&C. P&C means maximum we are going to use this formula only. All other formulas are based on this part. Anyway, so let's repeat. NCR is combination or selection, which means selecting R things out of N things. And the things are distinct, all are different things. And this is the result. And along with that, we also discussed about NPR, which is basically permutation, or we can say arrangement. So basically arranging R things out of N distinct things. So basically this task is, we can separate it in 2 tasks. It is in a way selecting N things, selecting R things and then arranging them. It is actually selecting R things and then arranging them. And arranging R things at R places can be done in R factorial ways, provided the things are distinct. So using this part only, we get the result for NPR as N factorial upon N minus R factorial. Okay? So if you wish to use the formula for NPR, it's fine. But I personally prefer to use NCR only. Whenever I need to calculate NPR, I can always do this thing. NCR, then multiply with R factorial. Okay? Okay, fine. Annie, I think no one is complaining, so maybe it's your side only. You can restart or rejoin. ठीक है, so NCR and NPR, these are the two things we discussed yesterday, and as I said that as I just said, NCR, we need to understand what is the meaning of these formulas and when to use. Now, don't misuse. Please don't misuse. As in the last question, by seeing 4 factorial कर दिया, वो गलत है, ऐसा नहीं करना. Okay, let me ask you one more question before I come to the actual slides. One more question. It is from CAT, I think 2000, maybe 12 or 13. I don't remember exactly the year. So this question was there that there are 5 logs. Let's say L1, L2, L3, L4, L5. L1, L2, L3, L4, L5. And this each log has exactly 1 key. So there are 5 keys. So let's call them K1, K2, K3, K4, K5. So question is that चिंतन क्या बोल रहे हैं? Sir, एक बार वो selecting more than one item in a pair from n distinct, more than one item. I think you are asking something else. मैं समझ गया, चिंतन. You are asking something else. वो भी आगे आएगा. We will discuss that today. I think you're asking about the number of selections, total number of selections possible. I think you're asking that. We'll come to that point. First, answer this one. There are 5 logs and 5 keys associated with that. So, question is that how many trials need to be done? How many trials? How many minimum, yeah, least number of trials? Minimum trials are needed to identify each log key pair. Each log is associated with exactly one of the keys. Each log is associated with exactly one of the keys. So there are 5 logs and 5 keys. So how many least number of trials are required? Now by seeing 5, we are saying 5 factorial. Why 5 factorial? What are those 120 ways? 120 is too much. What are 120 ways? Anyone? Ankita, Manik, Vaishali says 15. Chintan says 4 factorial. कैसे है factorial बाबा? We need to be certain. चिन्मय, we need to be certain. ऐसा नहीं तुक्का मार दिया कि कुछ भी 1 की उठाया, first look में लगाया हो गया, second उठाया, second look में लगाया हो गया. And that is just fluke. We need to be certain. How many minimum trials are needed to identify surely? It is not sure, na? Let me write to how many identify to certainly identify. Let me write certainly identified. 5 is a fluke, and 5 in 5 trials it may be possible, but it is not certain. So we need to be certain. Shilpi 4, again that's not certain. Some of you are saying 10, 14, 15, 120 वाले सारे गायब हो गए लगता है. This Manu is saying 15, 24. कैसे? Ayush Prasad 14 कैसे आया? Again I'm getting different answers. 32. Gunjan says 32. Deep Bhanushali 4 factorial. Venkat has written something good. Good thing, Venkat. Venkat, you are quite close. Think again. Pranav says 10 has certainly good. Kanksha, same thing somebody else mentioned earlier. Option कुछ इसी तरीके से थे. कैट में जब क्वेश्चन आया था, ऑप्शंस यही थे. 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. That's how you are getting 15. So 15 was one of the options. 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. 10 was also one of the options. 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. That is 5 factorial. That is 120 was also option. And 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. That is 24 was also an option. So these are the 4 options of CAT actual paper. Now tell me the answer. These are the options given. 15, 120, 10 and 24. Okay. By the way, we have seen. Already that few of the comments that first key. Let's say we are trying the first key. So first key we are using in 5 logs. Tell me, a first key is associated with any one of these logs, right? So first key should be tried how many times? Please tell me, first key need to be tried how many times to be certain that which log it is associated with? First key need to be tried how many times? 4 times. Good, 4 times. Not 5 times, Tanish. 4 times. 4 times. Because after 4 trials, even if after 4 trials it is not associated with that particular log, so certainly it is associated with the remaining log, the 5th one. So 4 tries are sufficient to identify the correct log for this first key. Akanksha, suno dhyan se, this first key, let's say I tried with the first log, it doesn't work. I tried with the second log, doesn't work. Third log, doesn't work. Fourth log, doesn't work. Now, no need to check whether it is associated with the 5th log or not. It will certainly work. That is given already. All the logs and keys, they belong to each other. ठीक है ना? Yes, exactly worst case you can say. Yes, so 10 is the right answer. So the first key needs to be tried with 4 logs. So it may match one of them. And if it doesn't, then it certainly belongs to the 5th remaining log. So after 4 tries, one log and key pair is identified. Same way now for the second key, I'm left with 4 remaining logs. So it needs to be tried with 3 of the logs maximum. So in 3 tries, certainly I'm going to identify the another pair. Same way, 2 more and 1 more. That will give you finally 10. So total 10 ways are required. It is maximum only. मतलब it is maximum का क्या limit है? बार-बार घुमाते रहो वैसे ही. So it is 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. 10 is the right answer. And that is a minimum way to become certain. अगर certain नहीं बोलते फिर तो जैसे पहले कईयों ने बोला था, that was okay thing. This is a cat question. No formula. Nothing. I told you yesterday also, cat doesn't demand you to mug up the formulae. हाँ, good. Shabby, आप ही सोचो. Shabby is asking, why are we adding here? इनको multiply करेंगे क्या? अरे, after 4 tries, you are going to do the next try. It is an addition only, isn't it? 15 नहीं आएगा ना गौरव, that is not required. 15 कभी भी नहीं आएगा. We have to just identify the pairs. So after 4 tries, if it is not satisfying, certainly that key belongs to the 5th remaining lock. ठीक है ना? Yes, cat demands thinking only. Okay, let's move further now. So we have basically identified the different things which we have discussed yesterday. I have revised that, and also we have done 2-3 good logical questions. How cat demands good logical thinking. Okay, let's move further to solve some more questions. So here is the first one for the day. Let's do it together. 11 candidates applied for a vacant post in a company. 11 candidates applied for a vacant post in a company. In how many ways can 4 candidates be selected? There are total 11 candidates. In how many ways 4 candidates be selected for the interview such that a particular candidate must be selected? How to do this? Please answer. No formula there. Pradyumna or something who is asking. One particular candidate needs to be selected, and then out of the 10 remaining, I need to select 3 more. So yes, that's correct. 10C3 is right. 10C3 is right. Exactly. एक तो रहेगा ही. Whatever that particular person is, that is already selected. So out of the remaining 10 candidates, I need to select 3 more. Fine. Is it okay? Good. Let's move to the next one. In how many ways can 4 candidates be selected such that a particular candidate must be rejected? A particular candidate must be rejected. Answer now. Answer now. Second question. Second question now. Yes, good Chintan. Ashar, ये क्या किया आपने 11C1? We have to select 4 candidates now, Ashar. We have to select 4 candidates, and 1 is rejected. 1 is rejected. That means out of 11, 1 is already rejected. One particular person is already rejected. So I'm left with only 10 persons among whom I need to make a selection of the 4. So it is clearly 10C4. Selecting 4 different persons from the 10 available persons. Fine. So it is 10C4. Good. Let's move to the last one here. In how many ways can 4 persons be selected such that one particular person is always selected and another particular person is never selected or never rejected, you can say? It is a 9C3. Yes, 9C3. Good. See, out of 11, 2 persons are already done. Now 1 is to be selected and 1 is to be rejected. So among the remaining 9, now I need to select 3 more. So it is simply 9C3. Perfect. Good. So that much basic understanding is clear with everyone? That's nice. Okay, let's move further now. Okay, that's a good one. For a convex hexagon, what is the maximum number of points of intersection of diagonals inside the hexagon? Now think carefully, logically, and try to answer. Isha, in last question we did, na, out of 11, 1 person is selected, 1 is already rejected. So out of the remaining 9, I need to select 3 more. Fine, that's how it was 9C3. Total 11 persons were there, out of which 1 particular was selected, 1 particular was not to be selected, and among the remaining 9, I need to select 3 more. That's how it was the answer. Okay, now answer this one. Convex hexagon, you can take hexagon basically. Hexagon means convex, when we say, it means interior angle is less than 180 degree. When we use the word convex polygon, any convex polygon, it means each interior angle is less than 180 degree. That is the meaning. 6C2 G says, benzene is a regular hexagon. Yes, that's true, Pranav. Benzene is a regular hexagon. So it need not to be regular. ऐसा जरूरी नहीं कि regular ही होगा. Concave means angle will become more than 180 degree. Let me give an example. Let's talk of quadrilateral only. Is this shape a quadrilateral? There are 4 sides. It's a quadrilateral, right? Tell me, is it concave or convex? It's concave. Because this interior angle is more than 180 degree, right? This is called concave. And normal, any quadrilateral if you draw, maybe something like this. Now each interior angle is less than 180 degree. This one is called convex. And same can be in the case of hexagon also. Fine. The difficulty is that why they have used this word, because in case of a concave polygon, if you will draw a diagonal, it may lie outside that polygon. But question is asking about inside. That's why. ठीक है ना? Answer to the question. 62 कैसे? Anand, how did you get 62? Anirudh says 3. 3 कैसे आया? It's not correct. 62 कैसे? 62 या 60 62 का मतलब हो गया 15. 9, 3, 15, 9. Vaishali says 62 minus 61. कैसे? कैसे? How are you doing that? Okay, now listen carefully. It's a convex hexagon. So convex hexagon, let me draw any shape for hexagon. So